what are your thoughts about Kirk Cousins? I mean, there's a lot that would have to happen to make that trade work for both sides. Do you think is it doable?
Well, this is the way I look at it. If the Browns take a quarterback at 2, Cousins is off the table. And whoever you draft, I assume be Sanders, would be your starter unless he wasn't ready. And then it would likely be Kenny Pickett. Then you sign Joe Flacco or Carson Wentz as your third guy unless you drafted another one. But I can't believe you just have 2 rookies and Kenny Pickett. But Cousins is waiting. He wouldn't waive his no trade if the Browns take a quarterback at number 2 because he wants to play. He doesn't want what happened to him last year when he thought he was going to be the guy at Atlanta with the contract, and then they drafted Michael Penix and replaced him. So he's waiting for the draft. If you do not draft a quarterback, if you draft Hunter or Carter, then I think Cousins is in play. He would waive his no trade clause. The problem with the trade is that the dead cap money, and there would have to be some type of restructuring, and I don't know all the weeds details, whether on the Falcons end of it or on his end of it, where there be some buyback. But I think the rub right now is they want to get something out of this thing, and it would come down to how much are you willing to pay in the contract. And if the Browns had to pay in the contract, I don't think they would really be giving up anything. They would be taking on salary. So it's a matter would they do that. But if you don't want Cousins at all, then your options are going to be if you take Hunter or Carter, is Pickett is your starter, and then you get Flacco or Wentz, whichever one, to either be the starter or battle Pickett. But that's the way I feel the path is Cousins. I just don't know if you can work that out. I really think that the Falcons won't trade him or move on from him. I don't know if they'll release him, but if they released him or bought him out or whatever, I think it would be much more plausible as if the Browns don't take a quarterback at 2. Because if they take a quarterback at 2, he's going to say, well, what in the world would I go to Cleveland? And they're going to go with Ward or Sanders. But the Steelers, if they take Rodgers or if he signs with Rodgers, that would leave the Browns as really the only option for Cousins. But if Rodgers retires or decides to go somewhere else, then the Steelers are in they're worse position than the Browns because they don't have a starting quarterback. Their guy right now is Mason Rudolph, and they would not be in the position really to draft one of these guys like Ward or Sanders unless like a Sanders fell down. They would probably try to get Dart or Milrow, and then, but at 21, and that's why, there's no guarantee you'd be able to get anybody because Saints, Steelers, there's other teams still looking at quarterbacks. But I think Cousins, somehow it seems to me there's a way to work this out. I think it just comes down to dollars and cents. I know his contract's untradeable in the Browns' position right now, but I think there might be, there's a way to work it out, something like buyout or different things like that.